Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today, guys, we are jumping into the world of Ethereum. There's a couple of concerns here, some urgent warnings, however we want to kind of articulate this, that I think you need to be aware of. So as I get into this, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you will be kept up to date with all of the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Now, if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, the link is in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check that out. And whilst you're in the description down below, check out the new Cheeky podcast as well. A fantastic easy way of staying up to date with all of the latest crypto news on your commute, so why not check that out. Okay, let's waste no more time, right? Because there are some things here I think are very, very important for most retail investors to know if they are looking at investing in or are invested in Ethereum. Now, just a gentle reminder that I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot give you financial advice. What I am talking about here is my own thoughts and opinions on the data as I see it inside the charts. Do with this as you will. Seek legal advice, do more research, financial consultants or whatever. But just note that this is not financial advice and it should not be treated as such. But what I am going to show you here is my thoughts as to why I think Ethereum is about to basically pull back, and it's going to pull back in a really significant way. So what we've got here is a lot of wave counts, right? And for the most part, the main thing that we want to focus in on is this little 5-wave structure up here. Okay, so let me grab this. Okay, so this little area just here is a 5-wave move. Okay, now this happened after a 5-wave move down over here. Okay, and this is unusual. Okay, you wouldn't normally expect to have a 5-3-5 followed by a 5-wave move upwards if you do not then follow this up with a 3-wave move down and an additional 5-wave move up. Okay, so essentially what we're tracking here is a zigzag. It's called a 5-3-5 pattern. Zigzag is a common name, and it also goes by another name, which is called an ABC correction. Okay, so an ABC correction essentially is a zigzag. It is a 5-3-5. There's lots of different ways of looking at it. So in here, I've actually drawn up the micro movements of a 5-3-5 structure upwards. Okay, we had our target set out yesterday's video, 1,258 to 1,324. Now, with that, we can obviously see that we pulled back in a pretty decent correction yesterday, and we started to move back up again. And now, what's going on here, guys, is that we've got a 5-3-5-3-5 structure inside our 5-wave structure, which is inside our ABC structure. Okay, so there's lots of degrees here. And when I mean degrees, I mean like sub counts inside each micro movement. And what this is indicating to us is we can now be very, very specific about where we think the reversal is coming. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to zoom right in on this little move just here, right? So this 4th wave, I had this mapped out a little bit higher. It's pulled back a little bit lower, and that is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a Fibonacci retracement tool. I'm going to take it from that high point of wave 3, and I'm going to take it down to this low point of wave 4, and I'm going to put the wave 4 just down here as well. Okay, so we have wave 3 high, we have wave 4 low. Okay, now here we can see that we have a very common area that a wave 5 would normally go to. Okay, and I'm going to just draw that on here with this little yellow box. Okay, so we had our macro view here yesterday at 1,258 to 1,324. However, this new micro movement is now indicating to us 1,261 to 1,287. So we now have this little refined area. However, because we've also got a subwave count just in here, we could also now be a little bit more accurate over where we think this is now going to go. And it refines it even more. Okay, so here we can actually take this little area and we can be like that little yellow box inside this yellow box that's inside this yellow box. We're starting to really break down where these moves are going. We have a 1,263 to 1,275. That there would be my expectation for the next pullback. Now, if I bring the stochastic RSI up into play here, you can see that we are experiencing some volatility. It's possible that we continue this pullback down and we actually, have to refine this again based on this stochastic RSI. It's also possible, though, that we just finish off by getting that last little surge up there and then we can bring down the price. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this last little surge upwards. It's tiny in comparison to where the rest of the market has been in the past. We're talking about an extra 1.5 to about 1.7% or so, just upwards there from the current price at the point of recording. That should be easily handled by that stochastic. Now on the 4-hourly chart, we've got plenty of room to grow, so this could just be that last little surge upwards, and then we can bring it down. Here again, we are overbought on the 8-hour. We are overbought on the daily. So essentially, this is the last little push in my mind before we start to see a complete collapse here for Ethereum. I do think Bitcoin's in a very similar position. So check out the Bitcoin video this morning. I think that Bitcoin might have a double top that also brings it down. And then here, basically, we have this completed fifth wave within the fifth wave within a C wave that will basically allow us to then collapse the price of Ethereum. So as I bring up the Bollinger Bands, what can we see here? Well, on this hourly chart, you can see that our little yellow box is right on here testing the upper band. So essentially, what I think is going on is we basically are looking to just push the price up that extra, maybe to 2% or so, come inside this little yellow box area between 1,263, 1,275, test the upper band, get rejected from the upper band, and fall back down. Okay, and the collapse should probably bring us all the way back down to some significant lows. I imagine that a first pullback will be, let me undo that. Let me grab this one. Yeah, first pullback will probably be a good 6 or so percent, maybe even more. So yeah, we'll be looking at a pretty decent kind of collapse here, I would have thought. But again, not financial advice, just my opinions on the data as I see it. Now on the 4-hourly, you can see here that the upper band is right on the upper end of our spectrum here of our much larger move. So it is possible that we do hit that higher point, but I would not be necessarily expecting it. Okay, so just keep an eye that here at 1,287 we have the upper Bollinger Band. Now on the 8-hour, you can see that actually we're testing the lower band again, the upper band on our lower expectations of 1,263. So again, that aligns quite nicely. And on the daily chart, I think it's completely, it's pulling back. So that again is coming on. We're testing the middle band AR expectations here. It's actually a little bit on the higher side, so it will be interesting to kind of see. Here you can find that we're up against a major resistance on this daily chart. So whether you're using Bollinger Bands or you're just looking at the charts in general, here you can see that there was a massive amount of resistance and on the 14th of June, 15th of June, and the 16th of June. Right now we're retesting that resistance, and I think our expectations are that we get rejected, and I think we are likely to pull back from there as well. So just be aware that essentially the data is suggesting some moves to the downside to be had here for Ethereum. Now if I come up into our weekly chart, just bring this up into view, again this is the expectation, right? We are looking at pulling back down. Now because we have those slightly refined areas, I can of course adjust our expectations. I'm going to take this to the worst case on the micro scale, and then I'm going to adjust our end targets here for Ethereum based on this new data of where I think things are going to go. Okay, so this would mark our fifth wave low. Let me just go ahead and grab these price points so we can make these really visible to you guys. So basically it's 697, so 697 if I put the right 697.62. okay, so that's the lower end right there, and on the higher end of this, if I grab hold of it, we are 806.20. okay, so $806.20 is the higher expectation. Now again, those micro movements are going to be more important, but here you can kind of see that we have this 5-wave structure coming on down. Right now we're testing that upper area of the Bollinger Bands, but we're also testing the upper limits, right? A fifth wave of the fifth wave of the C wave of a fourth wave, which basically means that we are likely to come on down into our fifth wave move. Okay, so I know there's a lot of things going on here. There's lots of things that can be confusing, so I'm going to try to draw this out the best that I can. Okay, so essentially what we have is a 5-wave move. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, wave 4 and wave 5, right? We are in the wave 4 move. Inside this wave 4 move, we have a 3-wave structure, okay? So inside there, we have a 3-wave structure. Inside that 3-wave structure, we have a 5-3-5 pattern, okay? And we are inside currently that final 5th wave. Inside that 5th wave, or inside that 5-wave structure, we are seeing an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And we are inside the 5th wave of that move, right? And we're inside that 5th wave. That 5th wave also has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I think we are in that final 5th wave there. So we are breaking this down in a very, very significant way that allows us to kind of really keep on top of where we are within the structures, and we are right at the very freaking top, in my opinion. So the chances are that we are going to be dropping down in a very significant way, and basically, if I take it from our high expectations now down to our lower expectations, we're talking about a 45% drop for Ethereum. So it's a pretty significant pullback. But do bear in mind, right, that this is just my opinions based on Elliott Wave theory that I have drawn up inside these charts. I am open to the idea that I am wrong. Okay, I'm not going to be right 100% of the time. And, you know, if I am, hands up, that's my bad. I am wrong on it. And do remember that I'm not a financial advisor, but as I see this data and as I have counted out all of the waves within all of these structures, I think Ethereum is on the cusp of a massive decline. So do your own research, dig into it, you know, consult a financial advisor if you want to, you know, do what is best for you. Essentially, just remember that, you know, this is just my opinion on the data inside the charts as I see it, and I'm expecting Ethereum to collapse. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.